Welcome back to my final more important analysis video with me, Rich Perry, market analyst at Hantec Markets on Thursday, 23rd of November. Looking at gold, and what we have seen is gold again posting a strong bull candle, but again pulling back. It's sort of really is two steps forward, one step back with gold at the moment. You are seeing a trend of higher lows that is still in place over the past few weeks. You are seeing a trend of higher highs. 1297 is that high that we saw last week. You are yet to sort of break above that, although you did have a strong candle yesterday, but the market sort of dropped away again. I mean, you've got this resistance overhead at 1300 to 1310, which is the long-term pivot that I've been looking at, and again that is still a big overhead resistance, overhead supply factor, which the market needs to overcome. You've got these momentum indicators which are effectively still neutral, aren't they, really? I mean, the RSI has sort of picked up, yes, over the past few weeks, again to reflect those higher lows, but it's still sort of around neutral. MACD lines still around neutral. Stochastics basically flat. It just doesn't really look as though this is a market that's going to be breaking sharply higher. And that resistance at 1297 remains intact. I mean, you could argue playing this on a very near-term basis when you sort of pull back into support. You could argue that's a little near-term buying opportunity, and within that you'd just sort of look towards these hourly indicators, the overbought, oversold oscillator on the RSI being your trigger. So you'd say when it gets back towards 30, you look to buy, and then you look to take profits when it gets towards 70. Seems to still be a way of potentially playing gold on this chart, but yeah, it still just seems to be sort of two steps forward, one step back on gold at the moment, and it is really fairly tricky to sort of time this. In terms of supports, 1288 is basically a sort of an old high. It's sort of back towards there now. It's sort of edging towards the downside break of that. So you then look at 1284, which is another sort of near-term pivot. Had been a resistance a couple of times. Yeah, I mean, these levels are not all that great, and they're certainly not levels that you'd sort of put the house on anyway. But support around 1284. Below that, 1279, I think it is, yeah, 1278.70 of that low, that reaction low yesterday before the sharp gain. So 1275 is where the main support starts to come in. But again, would you get that low considering we're sort of posting higher lows? So around 1284 to 1280 maybe is where you could get a low for the next buying opportunity. But yeah, these are all sort of very near-term situations here. Bit of a correction as the dollar has settled a bit today. But yeah, you're not going anywhere very fast on gold. So I wish you good luck in your trading. I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.